RDR fam, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great Monday and great weekend. So, got some nice compliments on the video I put up yesterday around my Sunday night setup and and kind of how I look at the DR ladder. So I appreciate those comments. I'm glad it was helpful to those folks. But let's talk about DR today. And today, let's call it a one-hitter-quitter day. All right. I heard that on some movie or some show, so it's just a one-hitter-quitter day as far as DR goes. So let's talk about it really quick. Now today we started out, if we look at our range, we only had about a 12-point range, 13-point range. So what really wasn't what, we normally would be looking for. And so, when that happens for me, I'm just a little more cautious about, what's actually going to happen with the market. And so I'll tell you what I did today, which was, again, I was being very, very cautious today, right? And so when this morning, once DR confirmed high, and we confirmed high a little after 11, right? So, well, let's notice a couple things here. So here's the movement we had this morning as far as the setup. So that V setup, which doesn't tell me anything. Now you could think, okay, because it's going up this way, we probably going to confirm high, which is a possibility. But again, it's not something I'm going to trust just, without any other confirmation, right? So also notice we had a lot of wicks going on, right? Which means that there's a lot of indecision going on here. I mean, this was Wick City, right? Everyone had a pretty decent sized wick. And so that's another kind of, to me, that's another, not a red flag, but just like let's be cautious today. Now don't forget, we have FOMC on Wednesday, I believe. So there's a good possibility that the market is just kind of just hanging out until then, for all intents and purposes. If you notice, if you notice what happened today, we started here, right here, right? And remember that green line that says here's where like DR started, which is again is 9:30 for us. We basically almost ended there, at 4 o'clock. So, we had a movement today, but it was very, very, it wasn't something that was like sustainable, right? It was definitely almost a consolidation day to a certain degree. But let's talk about DR and what we did. So, we confirmed high here. And now, if you missed this, you missed the whole trade, all right? Let's put it that way. Because we did have the next candle, right? Confirm on this candle. Next candle retraced down, barely, okay? It barely retraced back inside of DR, and then it turned back around and started moving up this way, all right? Which is all good. That is a rung on my ladder. Now I will say, again, being very cautious, what I really wanted was price to come down to this red dotted line, which is our IDR high, right? Come down this way, and then start making them move up that way. But that didn't happen, right? So now my rule is I'm gonna, when I see this order, I'm gonna put an order on DR, right? Because that's the rule, right? Once I go above, confirm, retrace, I want the order to be put on so I can go back up this way. And so I did that. But again, I was very, very cautious here. I literally took a 2-point trade here. Okay, that's because what started to happen once we went up this way. But if you note this candle, again, here's that wick coming down. That wick started to come down this way. And I was like, I don't know if I trust it. And so I just went ahead and closed my trade out, right? There's no harm in that. I mean, sometimes you let it run and it works out. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But again, like I always say, I'm a scalper at heart. So that's just an easy scalp for me. And I'm running 2 mini contracts. So that's actually not a bad return on my investment for, 3 minutes. So anyway, so that was the first one. Now if I would have just held it, it went from, that was 45.02, and this went up to 45.12, so that's a 10 points sitting right there. If I would have just held it, let it play itself out. But again, just wasn't in the mood for that today, so just didn't do it. Some days I'm much more patient. Today I was not patient at all. All right, so that was the first trade. That was the only DR trade we had today officially. Now I did take a second trade. I will admit I was upset that I got out of that trade here, because that wick right here scared me. And if I could just let it play out. So I was a little upset about that. But then I saw midnight open here, and we're not in DR land anymore. We are just in scalping trading land, right? So I said, okay, we got midnight open here, and again, midnight is always a pretty decent support or resistance for us. In this case, I saw it come back down to midnight. It didn't go down below it, which was one thing that kind of held me back for a second. I wanted to come down here and then kind of work its way back up. I would have put an order on the DR, on the midnight open, and taken it back up. But it didn't happen, so it didn't get there. So I ended up, once this candle closed, I ended up putting a trade on basically here, right? At the once this red candle closed, and I saw where price was moving, I put an order in here around 45.08. And so I had 2 points over here. I took 3 points off of this trade. Again, just being being honest. Today was not a day for me to be patient. So I took 3 points off of this. So I'd have 5 points for today, which is that's like my bare minimum, right? Got to get my 5 points. So got my 5 points there. Could have held a little bit longer. It went up probably about 6, 7 points. Again, I went 4 points, 5 points. But again, I wasn't worried about that. And that was kind of it for today, right? Then we had all this consolidation here. We did another test of this midnight open again. Still didn't go below it. Just kind of went to it and then reversed. I did not take that trade. This is 1 o'clock, and I got a little busy, so I wasn't even looking at the trade. I mean, I'll glance at the chart and say, like, I did have my alert set here. If it did come back down, if price did come back down below, so I had an alert to let me know to pay attention. But that didn't happen until 3 o'clock. At this point, I don't really like to trade unless I just see some really specific action. Once this big red candle came down and started moving back up again, I thought about putting a trade on here, back on IDR high. But again, after 3 o'clock, the action was really headed this way, and I wasn't patient today. Didn't have it today as far as patience goes, so I just didn't even worry about it, right? So I got my 5 points, over here, and I was like, well, okay, we'll see what else happens. So again, wasn't expecting much today. Again, we got FOMC on Wednesday, which again will be a very, very volatile day, and so we'll see what happens then. It should be fun. It was fun last month, if I remember correctly. All right, so anyway, so that's it, guys. Nothing, nothing really to write home about except for our one DR trade there. And you really would have had to trust that little wick right here. For a retrace, you would really had to trust that wick to put your order here. And I said I did because that's my rules. But again, I didn't trust it enough to let it play itself out. So just one of those kind of days. All right. But anyway, I hope everybody again had a great day. Tomorrow might be a little bit more interesting as we prepare for FOMC, but we'll see what happens. We'll play it play it by ear. The key thing for us is we stick with our plan and follow our process, right? That's at the end of the day, that's really all we can do, right? So we'll just keep doing that and see what we get out of it. Anyway, love on your loved ones. You never know, you won't be able to do it again, so take advantage of the opportunity. All right. Again, appreciate all the comments and kind words. You guys have a great night, and we'll try it again tomorrow. Take care.